Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I want to show you how to use this ball rig so that we can add some squash and stretch to our animation. First up, open up your project, and then we need to set our project to make sure everything saves to the project folder. So go to File, then you want to go to Set Project. File, Set Project. I saved all my lessons on my desktop, so that's where I can find all of my projects. You can scroll over here to desktop, find your lesson 3, then click on set. Sweet. Next, you can go to your workspace, top right hand corner, go to reset current workspace. You should be using general and then reset current workspace. I want to make sure we're on the same page. Then we can use this 2-panel view on the left side. So click on that button. I'm going to switch the first one, panels, orthographic, play blast cam. Panels, orthographic, play blast cam. The second one is going to be panels, orthographic, side. Panels, orthographic, side. Now you should have the same exact setup that I do. This first one is all about having your default camera in place. This is where you're going to be turning in, of course, after you turn off the resolution gate and all that jazz. And then this panel over here is so that you can zoom in and have a little bit more control over your scene. If we were working in a 3D environment, this would be more of a perspective view, but I've made these assignments in a 2D view, so it's a little easier to understand the basics. So yeah, enough that aside, let's go ahead and save our project. So File, Save Scene As. Let's call this Final, Lesson 3 Final. Save As. It should already be in your Lesson Scenes folder, so that's good. Save. And then let's start on the ball bounce. So we want to grab both balls. So click, drag, only select that middle green line on the purple ball. See that? Only select this middle one right here. So I'm going to click, drag, select both. I want to go to frame 1. I want to drag them up. Click on W, drag them up. Frame 1. I'm going to click on Shift W, or I can click on S, either one. And then I'm going to go all the way to frame 25, click on S. Okay. Then I'm going to go to frame 13. I'm going to go to my channel box, set the Y translate to 0. I'm going to reselect them and click on S. So I already did a lot of the heavy work for you guys, making sure that if these are set to 0 on the Y translate, they are set to the ground. It's because I want to just get right to the animation. So first, let's look at this yellow ball. This yellow ball. Right now, when the yellow ball jumps up and down, it looks more like it's floating. Let me go ahead and adjust my timeline. Let's make that 48:25 instead. So right now, it looks like it's floating. It's not even bouncing. Let's go ahead and fix that. So select your ball. Let's go to Windows, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. Let me make this half my screen. That is not what I wanted. Come on, Apple. There we go. That is also not what I wanted. Ugh, it's being difficult. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. Let me click on Translate Y. Okay. So I select my ball. I have Translate Y up. And I want to make sure that it bounces at the bottom, because right now we have that ease going on. I don't want that. So you select the bottom frame, and then you can go ahead and click on this linear tangent button. You guys should be familiar with this from the last assignment, but just as a review, make this linear with the linear tangent button. And then to make the curves a little curvier, we can go ahead and break the tangents. So tangents, break tangents. And then we can adjust these handles to make it a little more curvy. A little more curvy. So we get a nice ball bounce. Yeah, that's a nice ball bounce. Very good. I'll move this to the side. Now let's go ahead and fix our purple ball. Now we want to add one extra thing to our purple ball so that we can add the squash and stretch properly. Because for our squash and stretch, we need the squash. So we need to add that squash to it. And then when the ball is stretching, it still needs to touch the ground. Still needs to touch the ground. So let's go ahead and set this middle handle to both 13 and 14. So you can click on 14. You can click on the Y translate, set that to 0. And let's go ahead and key that. Key selected. So now that purple ball holds it for 2 frames, so 13 and 14. So if we bring back our graph editor, it's a little crazy, I know. Go to translate Y. Let's zoom in. Select those 2 points. This is point 13 and 14. And make them linear. And just like the yellow ball, this is what it looks like now. We want to make these curves a little curvier so that this bounce looks better. So I'm going to select those, tangents, break tangents, and then I can move these individually. I'm going to select that, make it a little curvier. I'm going to try to make the same amount of curve on either side if possible. Like that curve. Yeah. Great. So now you can see that they're kind of bouncing the same. Kind of. So hopefully that all makes sense so far. Go ahead and say Command S to save. And now it's time to add squash and stretch. Now, just some advice when it comes to squash and stretch, especially with this ball rig. I would advise you to only use one side. So if you want to use the top, go ahead and use the top. If you want to use the bottom, that's fine. I do not advise you to use both. You'd have to have like a special circumstance to use both. But for this assignment, you only need the top one. So go ahead and select the top one. And let's go ahead and key it on all the same frames as the bottom or the middle control. So let's go to frame 1, key it. Frame 25, key it. Because we want the ball to stay that shape. On frame 1 and 25, we want it to stay that perfect circle. And then let's go to frame 13 and give it a little bit of a squash. A little bit of a squash. I'll let you choose how dramatic you want it to be. You'll be tweaking it throughout the animation just to make sure it looks good. Let's go ahead and key that. And then on 14, because we have the ball staying on 13 and 14, that's where we can stretch it out. So we can go ahead and stretch that out. So now we get an illusion. Right? We get this squash, we get this stretch, and because it's touching the ground, it's like it's pushing off the ground. So that will help overall. Let's see what it looks like. It's kind of weird, lots of weird stuff going on, and we'll be able to fix it. It's kind of fun, it's kind of mesmerizing. Now the top control, what's going wrong? So as I scrub through, you can see that it's already squashing, which is, it doesn't make sense. Why should it squash now? So we want it to actually be stretching out, but not quite yet. So go ahead, scrub through. I'm gonna go to about, let's say I want it to stretch around 12. I want to have it stretch at 12 because it is going down and it's about to hit the ground. It's going to stretch it out at 12. I'm going to key that, and let's see how it looks. It's looking a little bit better, but I think as I scrub through here, see where I go to 1 to like 4, it's already starting to stretch, and I don't want that. I want the ball to keep its shape for some time. Now, just because I'm more experienced, I want to probably go to frame 7 when I make that 0 in the channel box. I want to keep that shape. So now it's holding that circle shape for 7 frames. So 1 to 7, see how it's not moving? Well, it's moving, but it's like staying a circle. And then from 7 to 12, the computer's interpreting it as stretching. So 7 to 12 is starting to stretch. Yeah, let's play that. Okay, it's coming a little more together. Let's go ahead and do something similar on the other side. So I want to make sure that my ball, I'm just like eyeballing it kind of midway. I want it to be a circle already. I'm going to say 19. I'm going to select the top control, go to my translate Y, go to 0, enter, make sure it's selected, and key that. See how it looks. Okay. It's looking a little weird, but I can fix that in the graph editor. Let's see. Yeah, I can go ahead and fix that in the graph editor. So what I'm trying to do is now think of what is happening to the ball. We know the yellow ball. Let me pull up the graph editor. We know when the yellow ball is going down, right? We have this ease in, we hit the ground to ease out. So we already know that. So we got the ease, acceleration, change in direction, and then deacceleration. Now same thing over here with the purple ball. We have the same action going on. Same action going on. But now we have this extra control. So this squash control. And it might look a little intimidating at first, but it's really not as complicated as it might look. So let's go ahead and look at that together. So I'm going to select this control. I accidentally added a key. That was my bad. I meant to frame it, not set a key. And let's start cleaning it up. Let's start looking at this middle one. So that middle frame right there, 13, is when we squash it down. Now what's kind of cool about frames that are next to each other, like 12, 13, and 14, is you don't have to worry about the curve technically because they're right next to each other. If you want to be more specific about it, sure, you can go linear, because that is technically what's happening. But you really don't have to worry about it because, again, it's a picture next to a picture next to a picture. Okay. Now, frame 12 is something that we need to mess with. Because if we're thinking about the ball going down, just like the yellow ball, what is happening? Well, it's easing, it's ease in, right? So we got ease to acceleration. So same thing with this top one. We got an ease to acceleration. So let me zoom in. Right now we got this ease, but because it's an S curve, see this S shape? We got an ease to acceleration to deceleration. So we got ease in and ease out. We don't want that. To make this look really good, I'll play it so you can see it change in real time. We want to change this curve. We want to break the tangents. Break the tangents. Where it's only doing that ease in. So we got that ease in, and then it's accelerating because it's going down. I don't know if you guys can see the change. It's very, very subtle. Very subtle. And then let's go ahead and do that on the other side. So I'm going to click on this curve. I'm going to break the tangents. Technically you don't have to, but I like breaking them. And then I want to make this curve go down because I want that ease out. So it's going back up, it's already accelerating, and now it's going back into a circle or a sphere. So that means it's slowing down. So ease out. So you should get this fancy M shape. If you want to be more, I guess, exact, you can go ahead and linear out those. You don't have to, but you could. And yeah, this is something that you should get. This one's pretty straightforward. This is a full-on tutorial. If you guys have any more questions, let me know in class. Let me just double check one more time, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, this just looks way smoother. I check my graph editor. Pretty sure we got everything. F to frame. Yeah, that looks good. If you want to experiment with like making this a little more dramatic, you can. I'm pretty satisfied with mine. And I guess I shouldn't have closed that. I just double check. I think it looked pretty good. Yeah, so we got the ease in on ease out. Sweet. Yeah, you should have something that looks like this. In your PlayBlast camera, go ahead and say option 1 to hide the handles. So now you should have just both balls. In your timeline down here, go ahead and say instead of 25, you want 24. So now it has a nice loop. So now there's no delay up top. It's a nice loop up and down. Go ahead and turn off your resolution gate, and you can PlayBlast it. So open up the PlayBlast settings. You should get something that looks like mine. And let's name that file Final and PlayBlast. Great. You always want to play your PlayBlast, make sure it looks good. Looks good. Nothing looks wrong. And last but not least, let's save our file. So file, save scene. I'm going to exit out of that. Go to your scenes. Make sure everything's saved. I got my start and my final. If you go to lesson 3, your PlayBlast should be in the movies. So lesson 3 folder, movies, and there it is. Sweet. Turn this in. Turn in your Maya file, and make sure you write any notes along with this, and you should be good to go. Cool. Have any questions? Let me know in class.